She mocked the legends of human warriors until she saw one in battle. Lieutenant G. Sci-Fi Vorn thrust her clawed hand against the access panel. The bulkhead sealed with a hiss, stranding the human squad on the far side. Lieutenant, Sergeant Hale pounded the reinforced playsteel, his faceplate fogged from heavy breaths. We can plug that breach. Let us through. Saley ignored him. She keyed her comm. Captain Isho, humans contained. Breach line secure for our units. Acknowledged, Vorn? Dren Isho's voice crackled.
Keep them leashed. We can't afford their enthusiasm.
Sabeli strode down the trench corridor. Mud sucked at her boots. Echoes of distant plasma fire rattled the walls. The Raxan brood pressed hard today. Their shock raiders exploited every gap she reached the forward command dugout. Captain Dren Isho hunched over the holomap. His frilled crest lay flat, sign of focus. Coalition banners flickered on the display. Krell, Vaxari, and the tiny human enclave. Status? Dren asked without looking up. Breach sealed. Humans rerouted to reserve. Saley's mandibles clicked in satisfaction. They'll thank us when the shooting starts. Dren nodded. Good. Briefing in 2. Get the platoon leads. Saley activated the alert chime. Officers filed in. Krell heavy gunners, Vaxiri scouts, and 1 human. Corporal Mara Kincaid. The woman stood apart, rifle slung low. Her vac suit hung loose on a frame too frail for frontline work. Pale skin, cropped hair. Humans looked like they'd shatter under a stiff breeze. Seats. Dren barked. They crowded around the holomap. It pulsed red along the eastern flank. Raxan positions swarmed like insects. Brood hit us at dawn, Dren said. Lost 2 outposts. They're using hostages again, our scouts pinned in the ruins. A Krell sergeant growled. Shock lances. We counter with massed fire. Dren tapped the exposed trench sector, a jagged scar in the line flanked by Raxan nests. This is the kill zone. Volunteers hold it. Rest of us pinch from sides. Sayali leaned in. Krell Heavy's anchor center. Vaxari flank. Humans. Kincaid raised a hand. Calm voice cut through. My squad takes the trench. We're rated for exposure. Silence dropped. Saili's crest flared in disbelief. She barked a laugh. You, in the open trench? Corporal, your kind tells legends of warriors who fight barehanded against swarms, charming myths. But reality breaks soft bones. Kincaid met her gaze, no flinch. Legends or not, we hold ground. Seen it done, Dren cleared his throat. Appreciate it, Corporal, but Lieutenant Vorn assigns roles. Saley's mandibles snapped. Humans and their stories. Tales of single fighters enduring orbital strikes, outlasting sieges that crumbled empires. Propaganda to mask fragility. Their med stats proved it. Low armor tolerance, poor regen. Specialists, yes, for logistics, repairs. Not shock combat. Ammo duty, Saley said. You run crates to the Krell nests. Stay behind the line. That's your legend today. Kincaid's jaw tightened. A flicker. Then gone. Understood, ma'am. Dren continued assignments. Saley watched Kincaid exit. The human moved with steady grace, rifle balanced easy. Still, 1 plasma graze would end her. Briefing wrapped. Platoon leads dispersed. Saley lingered, syncing her datapad to the map. Think she'll sulk? Dren asked. Saley snorted. Humans sulk? They write epics about it, the lone carrier who defied the Void Horde. Please, let her haul shells. Keeps her alive. Dren's crest twitched amusement. Cohesion matters. They fight well in their way. Their way loses wars. Saley synced complete. Ours wins them. Alarms hummed low. Raxan probes tested the wire. Her platoon prepped barricades. Krell nests humming with charge coils. Vaxari snipers zeroing scopes. Private Lyra, her Vaxari second, jogged up. Ammo runners inbound. Humans included. No heroics. Lyra saluted.
Antennae quivered.
Legends, Lieutenant? Saley waved it off. Fairy tales. Keep focus. First shells whistled overhead. Krell returned fire boomed. The line settled into rhythm. Saley patrolled the hook. Mud churned underfoot. Her armor's sensors pinged Raxan heat signs massing east. The exposed trench waited empty. No one sane volunteered there yet. A crate thudded nearby. Kincaid hauled another from the shuttle drop. 2 Krell gunners watched her stack it. She hefted without strain, despite the suit's bulk. Human strong, 1 Krell rumbled. For her size, Saley muttered. Passing.
Kincaid glanced up.
No words.
Just a nod. Saley reached her post.
Scoped the ruins. Racks and shadows darted. Hostages. Krell scouts. Flashed signals. Brood slavers dragged them for bait. Snipers mark slavers. She commode. Cracks answered. 2 Raxen dropped. Then it hit. Horns wailed. Breach alarm. Not a probe. Full assault. Contacts.
Eastern flank,
Lyra yelled. Saeli whipped her rifle up. Raxen shock lances pierced the wire. Brood raiders poured through, plasma whips crackling. They targeted the empty trench first. Flank hook exposed. Platoon, converge! Saley fired. Her bolt shredded a raider's shield. Krell heavies roared alive. But the brood surged fast. Hostage squads flanked, dragging screaming scouts as shields. Dren's voice boomed. Hold the line! Vaxari, cut the rear. Saley advanced. Mud splashed. A lance grazed her pauldron. Pain flared, but she pushed. Raxen closed the gap. Ammo low, Lyra called. Saley glanced back. Kincaid sprinted crates forward, under fire. Shells burst around her. She dodged, rolled, delivered. Impossible. Humans ducked plasma like rain. Corporal back, Saley shouted. Kincaid ignored her. Rifle up now. She fired from hip 3 broad down. Steady. Calm. Raxen hit the trench. Saeli's platoon buckled. A slaver tackled Lyra. Saley charged. Her bayonet plunged home, but more swarmed. A whip lashed her leg. Armor held. Barely. She staggered.
Flank collapsing!
Dren yelled. Kincaid vaulted the barricade, into the exposed trench. Alone.
Saeli's eyes widened.
No. The human dug in. Rifle barked precise. Brood raiders bunched. Perfect targets. She shredded the lead wave. Plasma scorched her suit black. She didn't falter. Raxen howled rage. Lances converged. Kincaid dropped, rolled through mud. Fired up. 2 more down. She's mad, Lyra gasped, clutching a wound. Saley fired support. But Kincaid held the trench solo. Brood piled corpses to cross. She climbed them, kicked one off, shot another. Human legends flashed in Saley's mind. Not myths. This. A lance clipped Kincaid's shoulder. Suit tore, blood welled. She clamped it, kept shooting. Saley pushed forward. Cover her. Platoon, now. Krell heavies poured fire. Vaxari sniped flanks. But Kincaid anchored it all. Brood wavered. Dren arrived. What in the voids? She's holding, Saley said. Voice cracked. Kincaid's rifle clicked empty. She drew a blade. Vibroknife. Last brood lunged. She sidestepped, slashed throat. Dropped him. Silence fell. Raxen retreated, dragging wounded. Kincaid slumped against the wall. Breathing hard, blood soaked her arm. She waved off medics.
Saeli approached.
Mandibles slack. You volunteered for this. Kincaid grinned faint. Told you, we hold ground. Dren gripped Saley's shoulder. Reassign her. Frontline. Saley's crest rose slow. Respect burned new. Yes, sir. Sirens quieted. But deeper rumbles shook the ground. Saley gripped the trench lip as the ground heaved. Dirt cascaded. Raxen grenadiers struck first. Plasma charges burrowed deep. Explosions ripped the far wall. Chunks of ferrocrete slammed down, severing the line. Controlled retreat! Pull back to secondary! Saley's voice cut through the roar. Her squad scrambled. Vaxari snipers vaulted revetments. Krell heavies hauled their guns. She fired her pulse carbine at shadows swarming the breach. Raxen shock troops poured in, hulking forms with vibro lances and hostage nets. Lyra screamed from the gun nest. A raider's lance pinned her leg. Blood sprayed. The heavy gunner thrashed, firing wild bursts that scorched the ceiling. Kincaid surged forward. Rifle slung, she hooked Lyra's harness.
Gotcha. Direct fire raked the open stretch.
Plasma bolts sizzled inches from her helmet. She dragged the Vaxari backward, mud sucking at her boots. A lance tip grazed her thigh plate. Sparks flew. Kincaid didn't flinch. She hauled Lyra behind a collapsed stanchion, slammed a med patch on the wound. Saley covered them.
Her carbine barked. One raider dropped, clutching its faceplate.
Kincaid, fall back now.
Seal the gap from secondary. Kincaid popped up. Rifle steady. She shredded 2 raiders bunching at the breach. Negative, Lieutenant. Gap's here. I hold it.
Obey the order, Sally's mandibles clicked fury.
Humans bent rules like soft metal.
This one ignored plasma storms. Grenades whistled. Racks and heavies lobbed burrow bombs. The trench segment buckled. Walls caved in a thunderous slide. Savvy's squad tumbled into a pocket, cut off. Dust choked the air. Her vox crackled static. Secondary line gone silent. Raiders howled triumph. Lances probed the rubble. Saeli's platoon huddled in the collapse. 6 Vaxari, 2 Krell, trapped. Racks and shock troops massed at the new breach, 20 meters wide, open to the stars. Dren's voice broke through. Vorn! Report. Cut off, Captain. Breach collapsed. Raxon massing. She peeked over a slab. Raiders advanced and wedge lances low. Nets ready for captures. Coalition hated hostages. Raxon thrived on it. Hold 30 micros. Relief inbound. Dren signed off. 30 micros, Siley tallied rounds. Squad had enough for 10. Krell gunner grunted, servos whining as he braced his heavy association. Voxiri reloaded snipers. But the breach yawned. Raiders would flood it. Kincaid stood exposed at the gap's edge. No cover. Rifle chattered. She dropped 3 raiders point blank. Plasma lanced her chest plate. Black score marks bloomed. Suit integrity at 60%. She stepped forward. Into the open. Kincaid. Down. Siley shout echoed useless. Human ignored her. Planted feet wide. Rifle swept the wedge. Precise bursts. 4 more down. Raiders fanned out. Lances converging. 1 netter flung. Sticky cords whipped toward her. Kincaid rolled under. Came up firing. Net tangled a raider instead.
She's suicide bait. A Voxari hissed.
Sally sighted through her scope. Kincaid's form blurred in recoil. Blood trickled from her earlier shoulder gash, mixing with mud. Yet she advanced. Closed the breach alone, body as barricade. Raiders howled rage. Lances stabbed. She dodged, sidestepped, fired. Plasma grazed her helmet. Visor cracked. She kept position. Sally's crest flattened. Human myths flooded her. Endless wars, flesh that endured. Lies. Until now. Raiders adapted. 2 grenadiers flanked. Charges armed. Sally sniped 1 headshot clean. Krell heavy poured fire, vaporizing the second. But more came. Kincaid's rifle clicked empty. She dropped it. Drew vibro knife and sidearm. Pistol barked. Knife slashed a lunging lance. Platoon! Suppress flanks! Sally ordered. Vaxari snipers pinged raiders. Krell gun chewed the edges. Kincaid anchored center. Pistol in one hand, knife in other. A raider tackled her. They rolled in mud. She drove the blade into its neck joint. Rose, firing. Blood poured from her thigh now. Suit alarms blared. Audible even here. Humans ignored pain signals. Madness. Dren's relief broke through distant fire. But Raxon pressed.
Hostage nets flew thick.
One clipped Kincaid's arm, yanked her off feet. She twisted midair, shot the thrower. Cut the net with knife, landed firing. Saeli's squad poured rounds. Raiders faltered. Piled corpses at the breach. Kincaid climbed the heap, kicked a raider down. Stabbed another. She hurled it, cracked a faceplate. Grabbed a fallen lance.
Powered it on. Whirl into the pack.
She's won. The Krell rumbled awe.
Saeli fired support, her carbine overheated, cooled in hand.
Kincaid fought like a storm. Lance severed limbs.
Raiders dragged wounded back. Their wedge broke. Relief squad crested the ridge. Dren led, plasma cannon roaring. Raxon scattered, howling retreat. Silence dropped. Kincaid slumped atop the corpse pile, breathing ragged. Blood soaked her. She waved off the med rush.
Clear, Siley scrambled over rubble.
Reached her first. Mandibles parted. You held the breach. In the open.
Kincaid spat mud, grinned through cracked visor.
Job's done, ma'am. Dren arrived, eyes wide. Vorn, status. Nominal, sir. Saeli pointed. Respect sealed her voice. Kincaid rose, limped to her rifle. Picked it up, no boasts. Deeper rumbles shook again. Not Raxon. Orbital strike warnings blared. Raxon fleet inbound. Sally voxed command. Liaison Vorn. Human asset proven. Recommend full integration. Command paused. Approved. Details? Frontline anchor. All lines. Her crest rose firm. Kincaid glanced over. Not at once. Raiders wouldn't break them now. But the fleet loomed. Trenches wouldn't hold that. Sci turned to Kincaid.
You fight like you're legends.
Legends? Kincaid chuckled. Just Tuesday. Explosions bloomed overhead. Shrapnel rained. They dove for cover together. The real fight escalated. Sci watched the human beside her. Prejudice crumbled. Capability stood proven. Racks and ships screamed down. Coalition guns answered. War shifted.
Kincaid shouldered her rifle. Ready. Solly gripped her carbine.
With you?
Yes.
They charged the next line. Together.
But a Raider scout pinged their flank. Hostage squad incoming. Kincaid spotted it first. Flankers, 9 o'clock. Sci pivoted. Fired. Too late for pride. Juafred. Alien followed. Respect forged in fire. Deeper rumbles built to thunder. The collapse spread. No, Raxon burrowed under. Saley yelled warning. Kincaid already moved. The ground split anew. Kincaid leaped the fissure, rifle blazing into the pit. Sally stared. Human bridged hell with grit.
Squad rallied behind. Victory tasted like mud and blood.
But solid. Dren signaled advance. Push them out. Kincaid led point. Wounded, unbowed. Siley matched stride. Niths real.
Human real. War demanded more.
Raxon wouldn't yield easy. Neither would they. Explosions chained. Trench network shook.
Kincaid dragged another wounded. Krell this time. Under fire.
Ignored orders again. Sciali didn't countermand. Trusted now. Human resilience sealed gaps no trench could. Raxon howled from shadows. Kincaid answered with lead. Squad survived because of her. Saley vowed silently. Never underestimate again. Frontline held. For now. Orbital barrages lit the sky. Coalition fleet countered. Ground war mere prelude. Kincaid slumped against a bulkhead. Patched wounds. Rifle clean. Rest, Solly said. No time.
Kincaid stood. They come back.
Truth hit. Humans didn't quit. Aliens learned fast. Saley's vox buzzed. Scieli yanked Corporal Kincaid into the crater's lip. Dirt sprayed their faces. A Raxon burrower erupted 20 meters away, its chitin mandibles gnashing through ferrocrete. Kincaid grunted. Blood soaked her left thigh. Shrapnel from the flank blast had torn clean through.
Stay down, Saley barked.
She slapped a trauma patch onto the wound. The smart gel hissed, sealing arteries. Human blood welled slower now. Kincaid's face twisted. Pale. Sweat slicked. Sciely braced for collapse. Humans broke under less.
Myths lied. Instead, Kincaid checked her magazine.
Click. She raised her rifle. Sciely's mandibles clicked in shock.
You're hit.
Evac first.
No. Kincaid zeroed her sights.
Hands shook, but barrel steadied. She squeezed the trigger. Rounds cracked out. A Raxon scout jerked mid-leap. Carapace shattering. It tumbled into the pit. Saley ducked shrapnel. Covering fire poured from the human's position. Precise. Relentless. The vox buzzed again.
Siley thumbed it.
Command, this is Vorn. Nest sector compromised. Need extraction now. Static hissed. Then, comms jammed liaison. Raxon ECM pods active. Hold position. Hold? Solly snarled. Burrowers howled below. The heavy weapon nest, Coalition's anchor, went silent. No plasma barrage. Just screams.
Kincaid fired again. Another scout down.
Nests our play. Low crawl route. Follow. Sciely hesitated. Human led. Again. You're limping on gel. One shock, and move. Kincaid slid forward. Belly to mud. Sciely cursed. Gripped her pulse carbine. Crawled after. Debris choked the path. Twisted rebar snagged Sally's uniform. Wreckage from the orbital prelims littered the zone. Shattered Krell armor plates, splintered Vorthrak struts. Kincaid picked the line flawless. Avoided weak ferrocrete. Skirted burrow vents steaming acid fumes. A Raxon drone buzzed overhead. Saili froze. Kincaid didn't. She rolled. Fired upward. The drone exploded in a puff of ichor. Nice shot, Saley muttered. Respect edged her voice. Kincaid nodded once. Kept crawling. 50 meters in, the ground trembled. Fresh fissure yawned left. Gases vented. Raxon pheromones sharp as vinegar. Saley's eyes watered. Kincaid veered right. Through a collapsed hab block, jagged plasteel loomed. Sally squeezed past. Fabric tore on her shoulder. Pauldron. Kincaid wedged through first. Rifle slung, pulled herself with elbows. Blood trail smeared behind. Trauma patch held, but gel frayed at edges. You're leaking, Sally hissed. Slow. Kincaid ignored her. Emerged into a rubble trench. Gestured. Nest ahead. 200 meters. Raxon swarmed it. Sally scanned.
8 hostiles pinned the nest. Coalition gunners inside. Krell heavy. Vorthrax loader. Trapped.
Burrowers undermined the position. One breach, and the line folded. Goal clear. Reactivate the nest. Hold the flank. Conflict. Raxon shock assault. They hit morale first.
Hostages next. Sally Vox checked.
Still jammed. No dren. No support. Kincaid tapped her. Pointed. Low ridge. They crawled. Kincaid's breaths rasped. Shallow. Pain-laced. Yet steady. Sally marveled. Vorthrax took wounds like this, and locked. Krell raged till stims failed. Humans endured. Pushed. Ridge crested. Nest in view. Raxon raiders dragged a Vorthrax gunner out. Hostage tactic. Brood specialty. Kincaid sighted. Sally nodded. Laid suppressive fire. Pulse bolts scorched the air. Kincaid fired. Raider head exploded. Gunner scrambled back inside. Raxon turned. Charged. Sally stitched the lead pair. Chitin cracked. They fell. Kincaid reloaded.
Hands steadier now.
Fired into the burrow mouth. Screeches echoed. One raider flanked left. Leaped at Sally. She pivoted. Carbine jammed. Debris clog. Kincaid's rifle barked. Raider spun midair. Dropped dead.
Sally exhaled.
Thanks. Kincaid waved it off. Nest. Low. Zigzag. Nest door buckled. Krell gunner inside bellowed defiance. Plasma cannon silent. Power cut. Raxon piled on. 3 left. Kincaid vaulted debris. Slid inside. Rifle up. Sally covered the door. Blasted a burrower claw probing through. Inside. Chaos. Vorthrax loader nursed a gut wound. Krell manned the cannon manual. Overheating barrel. Power relays chewed. Krell grunted. 4 arms wrestled conduits. Kincaid dropped beside him.
I got it. Sally guarded the breach.
Human, you're no tech. Kincaid stripped her mag vest. Yanked field wire from her pack. Spliced it raw. Sparks flew. Power surged.
Cannon whined to life. Krell stared.
How? Basic. Kincaid stood. Limped to a firing slit. Resumed cover.
Sally fired out the door. Last raider fled into shadows.
Burrowers retreated under plasma barrage. Nest roared.
Line held, but Vox stayed dead.
Dran's company pushed elsewhere. Raxon wouldn't quit. Kincaid slumped against the bulkhead, rifle across knees. Checked her mag again. Half empty. Sally knelt. Inspected the thigh. Gel held, barely.
You need medevac. That's an order. Kincaid met her eyes.
Calm. Jammed net. They hit again. Nest falls. I hold. Sally's mandibles parted. Human stubbornness. Madness before. Capability now. You are not fragile, she said. None of you.
Kincaid's lip quirked. Told you.
We endure. Explosions chained closer. Raxon counterpush. Brood didn't break morale easy. Sally gripped her carbine. Stood beside the human. Together then.
Kincaid nodded.
Raised her rifle. The nest shook. Burrowers returned. Sally fired first. Kincaid's shots followed. Precise, unyielding. Plasma chewed the dark. Human blood scented the air. Faint, a Raxon champion, breached. Massive. Claws like scythes. Krell cannon swiveled. Overheated. Jammed. Sally unloaded. Bolts. Ricocheted off armor. Kincaid stepped forward. Limped into line. Emptied her mag, point blank. Chitin starred. Cracks spread. Champion roared. Swiped. Kincaid dodged. Rolled. Trauma patch split. Up fresh. Bloodless. Zale covered. Fall back. No. One-handed. Fired into joints. Champion buckled. Collapsed. Nest cheered. Krell pounded his chest plate. Siley stared at Kincaid. Wound, reopened. Human pressed gel manually. Stood tall. Myths, Saley whispered. Real.
Kincaid wiped blood from her brow. Just doing the job.
Vox crackled faintly. Jam breaking? Vorn, status, nest secure, Saley reported. Kincaid held it. Pause. Dren's voice. The human? Wounded? Silence. Then, understood. Reinforcements inbound. Hold 5.
Kincaid heard it, checked her mag.
Nodded. Saley watched. Prejudice burned away. Respect forged. Racks and howls rose anew. Deeper burrows. Kincaid sighted. Here they come. Saley matched her. Rifle ready. Frontline trembled, but held. Captain Dren's voice cut through static. Isho to Vorn. Flank secure? Affirm, Saley said. Kincaid's lead. Good. Push to rally point. Raxon braking. Kincaid let out. Limp pronounced now. Rifle, steady. Saley followed. Squad remnants trailed. Krell gunner clapping her shoulder. Vorthrax nodding. They advanced through smoke. Raxon corpses littered the trench. One burrower lunged from side. Kincaid snapped shot. Dropped it. Human, normal. Rally point loomed. Dren's company dug in.
Capped. Isha waved them in capped.
Isho grabbed Saley's arm as she slid into the rally trench.
Vorn.
Casualties? Light, Sally snapped. Kincaid held the nest solo. Isho glanced at the human. Kincaid limped forward, rifle slung, blood streaking her armor. She ignored the stares from the mixed squad. Krell gunners, Vorthrax scouts, a few human specialists huddled behind sandbags. Vox hissed. Isho. Central Command. Raxon burrowers punched the east flank. Lines folding. Heavy repeater needed at grid 47. Now. Isho cursed. That's 200 meters uphill. Repeater weighs 80 kilos. Needs 3 to shift it. Kincaid stopped. Eyed the bulky repeater nest at the trench's rear. Twin barrels. Ammo drums like boulders. She dropped her rifle. Unslung a field cable from her pack. Saley blinked. Kincaid. Wait. Human ignored her. Looped the cable into a sling around the repeater's base. Braced one boot against a stanchion. Leveraged her shoulder under the frame. Muscles corded. She heaved. The weapon slid. Inch by inch. Drums rattled. Kincaid grunted once. Adjusted angle. Pulled again. Krell gunner stared. 3 of us couldn't budge that.
Kincaid straightened. Wiped sweat.
Field expedient. She dragged it forward, solo, toward the east lip. Isho gaped. Human. Stop.
You'll rupture. Lines collapsing, Captain.
Kincaid sighted the grid. Cover me. Saley gripped her rifle. Racks and howls echoed from the smoke. Burrowers tunneling fast. Shock troops behind. East flank guns fell silent. Allies retreated in panic. Kincaid reached the lip. Slammed the repeater down. Locked legs. Fed a drum home one-handed, her wounded arm dangling. Saley vaulted up beside her. Signals? Kincaid nodded.
Raised fist. Pumped twice. Advanced signal.
Pointed left. Krell gunner. Right. Vorthrax scout.
Sileli barked orders. Krell, left arc.
Berthrax. Right. Crossfire on my mark. Alien scrambled. Krell's plasma cannon whined to life. Vorthrax needler chittered. Kincaid slapped her helmet. Popped the seals. Lifted it off. Placed it on a stick. Propped it high over the lip. Decoy bait. Saeli crouched low. Baiting them. Standard. Kincaid manned the repeater. Sighted through iron sights. Thumbed the charge. Raxon screams peaked. Burrowers erupted 30 meters out. Claws shredding earth. Shock troops charging behind. Hostage drones herding captured allies ahead. They spotted the helmet.
Shock leader bellowed. Entire push surged toward it. 50 strong. Blades flashing.
Kincaid waited. 3 seconds. Fired. Repeater roared. Shells chewed the front rank. Burrowers shredded mid-leap. Shock troops exploded in red mist. Saley's rifle cracked in rhythm. Krell's plasma bisected a burrower pack. Vorthrax needles pinned the flanks. Crossfire perfect. Raxon halted. Broke. Fled into burrows, dragging wounded. Silence fell. Smoke cleared. East flank stabilized. Kincaid slumped against the repeater. Reloaded calmly. Blood dripped from her reopened wound. She pressed a fresh trauma patch. Stood. Sayali lowered her rifle, watched the human. That wasn't myth, that was doctrine. Bait, ambush. Reposition under fire. Humans trained for it. Expected it. Isho climbed up. Clapped Kincaid's shoulder. Flank held. Central Command confirms. You moved that alone. Sup. Solo reposition if team down. Krell laughed. Deep rumble. Human madness. Good madness. Vorthrax nodded. We cover. You kill. Solly felt it shift. No more fragile specialists. Proven. Vox crackled clear now. All units. Raxon raid broken. Rally to Central. But howls rose again, from the west. Deeper.
More burrowers. Kincaid sighted.
Round 2. Sally matched her stance. Rifle up. Together. They fired as one. Isho pulled Sally aside mid-fight. Born report full. What happened at the nest? Sally kept eyes forward.
Shells whined overhead.
Champion charged. Kincaid took a claw hit. Trauma patch failed mid-roll.
She reloaded one-handed.
Dropped it. Isho whistled. Wounded? Still is. Sally nodded at Kincaid. Human swept the repeater left, mowing a burrower wave. Ignores it. Below, squad remnants reinforced. Krell hauled extra drums to Kincaid. Vorthrax scouts flanked out. Needlers probing burrows. Raxon adapted. Hostage drones buzzed forward. Captured coalition troops wired with blades, shambling as shields.
Kincaid signaled. Fist circle. Hold fire. Sally relayed.
No shot! Hostages! Aliens froze.
Krell growled. Raxon cowards. Kincaid didn't hesitate. Grabbed a flare grenade. Lobbed it arc perfect into the drone cluster. Flares burst. Drones shorted. Blades dropped. Captives freed. Scrambling back. Repeater thundered again. Raxon push vaporized. Saili exhaled. Human foresight. Calm under chaos. Isho voxed command. West flank secure. Kincaid's repeater flipped it. Response buzzed. Human assets redeploying? Center Central. Isho eyed Kincaid. Corporal, you good to move? Kincaid nodded. Limp worse but steady. Lead on. They pushed west through the trench. Raxon corpses steamed. Burrow holes smoked. A scout drone zipped low. Raxon eye. Kincaid snapped her sidearm. Dropped it midair. Vorthrax chittered. Fast eyes.
Training, Kincaid said. Sayeli fell in step.
Prejudice gone. This human endured what broke others. Not superhuman, just human. Rally Central loomed. Bigger trench. Full company dug in. Alien heavies covered. Dren Isho. Wait, no, Isho was here. Dren was command. There Isho waved them through. Central hold, but Raxon Alpha Brood tunneling under.
Sensors blind.
Kincaid dropped the repeater sled, checked readings on her wrist pad. Vibrations match Brood pattern. 3 minutes.
Squad tensed. Krell primed plasma.
Vorthrax strong trip mines. Sally gripped her rifle. Plan? Kincaid pointed. Repeater here. Bait with decoy squad, rotate helmets. Crossfire again.
Isho nodded. Do it.
Kincaid slung cable anew. Dragged repeater to the weak point. Solo again. Locked it down. One-handed drum swap. Sily coordinated. Krell, left. Vorthrax, right. Helmets up. Decoys rose. Vibrations peaked. Ground erupted. Alpha Brood. Massive burrowers. Shock elites riding shells. They charged decoys. Kincaid triggered. Repeater shredded lead elements. Crossfire cored the rest. Brood broke. Elites routed. Cheers erupted.
Humans clapped. Aliens thumped chests.
Sayali stared at Kincaid. Human ignored it, cited next threat.
Myths, Sally muttered.
Just your baseline.
Smiled faint.
Vox blared victory. Raxon rage shattered. Coalition holds, but Sally saw the limp deepen. Kincaid pushed on. Frontline trembled no more.
Isho pulled her aside.
Vorn, you're with her now. Liaison permanent. Sayeli nodded. Stake lives on her? Gladly. Deeper howls echoed, Raxon regrouping. Kincaid sighted. Not done. Rifle ready. Sayeli matched. Battle flipped. Respect sealed. Frontline held. Because of one human, Raxon claws shredded the barricade. Sayeli Varn ducked as plasma bolts scorched the air above her foxhole. She clutched her rifle, eyes locked on the command post 50 meters upslope. Capped. Dren Isho's position, Coalition nerve center for the sector. Lights flickered inside. Screams cut through the vox. Hostages. Isho's voice barked over comms, then static. Raxon Alpha Squad inside. They've got me, Vorn. Text down. Negotiate pullback. A guttural Raxon roar drowned the channel. Saley slammed her helmet against the dirt lip. Beside her, Koppel Mara Kincaid crouched low, rifle steady. The human's bandaged shoulder wept blood from the earlier brood fight, but her face stayed blank. Calm. Saley squad, Krell and Vorthrax flanked them. Plasma rifles humming. Raxon raiders swarmed the post now. Shock elites pinning the doors with suppressive fire. Hostage tactics. Classic brood play. Break morale fast. Force retreat. Saley keyed her vox.
Command, this is Lieutenant Vorn.
Propose negotiated pullback. Sector auxiliary forces en route. Hold fire, we parley. Silence. Then a Raxon hiss laugh crackled through. Coalition dogs yield trench line. Officers walk free, or watch them bleed.
Kincaid's voice cut in flat. Negative.
No pullback.
Saley whipped her head around.
See? The human sighted her rifle downslope, ignoring the post. Corporal, that's Isho in there. Our commander. Raxon don't bluff. They got captives. Kincaid didn't flinch, heard the myths. Senior logs. They break fast if you hit first. She tapped her wrist pad.
Sector grid glowed. Power relays blinked red.
Lights out. My way. Siley's scales prickled. Humans as fragile specialists. That's what Coalition briefing said. Good for morale boosts, not solo charges. But this one dragged repeaters. One-handed. Ignored wounds that would have dropped a Krell. You're hit. Squad's down 20%. Wait for Ox. No time. Kincaid thumbed a command. The wrist pad pinged Coalition override codes. Human tech hack. Seamless. Sector lights died. Blackout swallowed the front line. Trenches plunged into void. Only Raxon biolume strips glowed faint from the post windows. Sally blinked hard. Night vision flickered. Raxon jammer scrambled it. Her squad cursed. Krell growled. Blind. Can't advance. Kincaid rose smooth. Rifle slung loose. No helmet light. She stepped from cover into open mud.
Sound and timing.
Follow if you can. Siley gripped her rifle tighter. The human walked, straight toward the post. Mud sucked at boots. Raxon fire probed the dark, wild sprays. Kincaid dodged without breaking stride. Plasma whined past her ear.
She timed breaths, counted echoes.
Impossible. Siley's visor auto-adjusted, caught faint outlines. Kincaid moved like she heard every bolt's whine, every claw scrape. Human ears? Base model senses aliens envied in Sims, but dismissed as myth. A Raxon sentry popped from the post flank. Kincaid snapped her rifle up. Single shot. Sentry dropped silent, headshot in pitch black. Siley's squad froze. Vorthrax whispered. She saw that? No. Siley swallowed.
Heard it! Kincaid reached the post breach point.
Raxon had welded doors half open, hostages clustered inside. Siley strained audio pickup. Isho bound. Vortex huddled. Raxon handler loomed over them. Alpha brute with vibroclaws, pistol to Isho's neck. Kincaid knelt. No charge. She yanked a demo charge from her harness, slapped it low on the wall frame. Silent arm. Then she ghosted sideways into shadow. Explosion ripped low. Wall buckled inward. No flash. Muffled by blackout seals. Dust choked the air. Raxon inside yowled confusion. Kincaid flowed through the gap. Saley sprinted after, rifle hot. Squad piled in behind, darkness pressed thick. Raxon biolights swung wild. Kincaid struck first. Her knife flashed. Handler's pistol arm severed at elbow. Brute howled, spun. Kincaid drove boot into his knee. Crack! He toppled, she rode him down, rifle butt to skull. Once. Twice. Silent kill. Isho yanked free bonds. Kincaid flank clear. Siley covered the techs, popping 2 Raxon point guards as they wheeled. Krell plasma melted a third, rushing the door. Vorthrax mined the exit. Tripwires sanged legs. Last Raxon bolted for Vox console. Kincaid tackled mid-stride. Human weight pinned him. She zip-tied claws, cracked jaw with elbow. Light snapped back. O-forces online. Sector flooded white.
Raxon raid crumbled. Brood reinforcements scattered under crossfire.
Isho stood, rubbing wrists. Clapped Kincaid's good shoulder. Coalition owes you, again. Kincaid shrugged. Blood pattered from her bandage. She ignored it, checked squad vitals on pad. Push them out. Repeater sleds intact.
Sharpnel graze on her leg, fresh.
No grunt, no pause. Raxon handler twitched, still alive. Coalition medics dragged him for intel. Myths, Siley breathed. She'd proposed retreat, staked nothing on this human. Now? Isho lived because Kincaid walked into black. Kincaid met her gaze. Faint smile. We get by. Vox hailed victory. But deeper tunnels rumbled. Raxon brood probing again. Saili gripped her rifle. Beside Kincaid. No questions. Front line wouldn't break. Not tonight. Isho rallied the squad. Born Kincaid. Lead to counter. Oglinks in 5.
Saili nodded sharp. Liaison permanent.
Stake lives? She'd bet the sector now. Kincaid sighted the rumble. Pattern shift. They're tunneling command ridge.
Siley primed her rifle.
Human baseline. Salvation to allies. They advanced together. Mud churned. Firefight reignited. Raxon howls peaked. Coalition fire answered. One human led. Respect followed. But the tunnels widened. Brood alphas incoming. Heavy shells cracking surface. Kincaid dropped to a knee. Wrist pad beeped urgent. Big ones. Need demo relays. Siley covered her. On it. Collaboration sealed the line. Deeper rumbles shook dirt loose. Something massive breached nearby. Kincaid rose. Rifle ready. Here they come. Tully matched her stance, no prejudice left. Only proven steel. The ground split. Alphas erupted, shell riders with shock mauls. Kincaid fired first. Hit true. Saley followed. Plasma lanced. Brood charged. Frontline trembled. Held firm. Because humans endured, aliens adapted.
Together, unbreakable. Isho voxed from rear. Hold.
Reinforcements inbound. Too late for that fight. Alphas closed fast. Kincaid swapped drums one-handed. Wound ignored. Flank left. I'll bait.
Saili signaled squad.
Human stepped forward. Decoy perfect.
Alphas lunged. Repeater roared. From sled Kincaid dragged earlier. Brood shredded. Cheers erupted anew. Saley thumped her chest. Respect thrummed, but Vox crackled warning. Raxon Overlord sighted. Raider Queen rallying remnants.
Kincaid sighted horizon.
Glow built. Not done, she said. Saili smiled faint. Together. They pushed on. Front line. Advanced. Human resilience. Alien precision. Victory brood. Raxon wouldn't know what hit them. Tunnels sealed behind. Ridge secured. Isho promoted Kincaid on field. Humans clapped. Aliens thumped. Saili watched the human. Limp, gone, adrenaline. Stubborn will? Myth made real, she muttered.
Kincaid glanced.
Deeper hells faded. Raxon broke. Coalition held, because one human turned dark to her weapon. Siley vowed silently. Never underestimate again. Frontline pushed to dawn. Victory total. But scouts reported, Raxon Queen escaped. Regrouping off-grid. Next fight loomed. Kincaid cleaned her rifle. Ready. Solly stood watch. Liaison forever. Humans got by. Allies survived. Respect earned in blood. Prejudice dust. Ridge secure. Contact. Brutes inbound. 500 meters. Kincaid's shout cut through the ridge's uneasy quiet. Saley whipped her rifle toward the horizon. Dust clouds boiled up from the ravine below. Raxon hulks lumbered into view. Towering brutes, armored like siege engines, shock mauls crackling. Their roar shook the ground. The Coalition's heavy repeater chattered from its ridge perch. Manned by a Krell gunner, shells tore into the lead brutes. But the drum ran dry with a final sputter. Reloading, the Krell bellowed, too slow. Brutes accelerated, closing to 400 meters. Flank squads faltered, firing wild. Kincaid vaulted from cover. Ammo sleds back there. Saley's crest flared, open ground glittered with enemy fire. Human, wait, no time. Kincaid sprinted. Saeli gaped, the human dashed across 300 meters of exposed shale, rifle slung, legs pumping like pistons. Raxon bolts scorched the air. One clipped her shoulder plate. She didn't break stride, zigged left as a maul throw exploded shale behind her, grabbed the sled's harness, dragged it back, muscles straining, blood trickling from fresh shrapnel. 2 minutes flat. She slammed the drum home. Repeater roared alive. Saeli thumped her chest.
Discipline, flanks, tighten lanes.
The human sprint bought breath. But brutes hit 300 meters. 20 strong, shrugging off rifle fire. Their queen's banner whipped behind, escaped overlord, rallying fast. Kincaid slid beside Saley, panting minimal. Sink to the gun. Fire on my rhythm. Your rhythm? Saley snapped. Humans fought sloppy, by myth. But the repeater thrummed steady now. She voxed squads, liaison override, match human cadence, left flank, lane 1, fire on beat. Right, lane 2, hold for offset, aliens grumbled over comms, Krell gunners adjusted. Vithari snipers zeroed.
Kincaid fired first shot.
Beat. Squads echoed, bolts lanced in rhythm. Crack, crack, pause, crack. Brutes staggered into lanes. One exploded mid-charge, repeater rounds punching vitals. Another veered into crossfire. Rhythm carved them down. 5 down. 10. Saley's squad synced perfect. She squeezed trigger on cue. Felt the flow. Human normalcy.
Alien precision meshed.
They're adapting, Captain. Isho voxed from command post. Brute splitting, hostage swarm behind. Siley spotted it. Smaller racks and raiders darted in brute wakes, nets ready for grabs. Classic break morale. Kincaid sighted the lead brute, pulling them to corridor. Cover withdrawal. She stepped from rock, fired controlled bursts. Taunted with gestures aliens barely caught, universal defiance. Brute locked on. Charged her alone, maul high. Kincaid backpedaled smooth, drawing it into the ravine's kill chute. Pre-sighted defilade, mined and rigged. Follow her lead, Siley barked. She waved her squad left, opening the funnel. Other squads shifted, lanes feeding the corridor. Kincaid withdrew meter by meter, brute closed to 50. She dodged maul swing, fired point blank. Armor cracked, brute howled, called mates. Funneled tight, repeater hosed the chute. Mines popped, brutes vaporized in chain blasts. Raider swarm hit the debris wall. Shredded. Cheers crackled over Vox. Isho. Push. But the Queen's glow built brighter. More brutes surged. Flanks buckled. Coalition lines cracked. The Thari squad routed. Krell gunner pinned. Saley's perch trembled. Raxon crested ridge edge. Front, collapsing. Fall back to secondary. Kincaid reloaded. Eyes hard. Not yet. Artie on my mark. We hold 10 more seconds. Saley froze.
Artillery mentor coordinates.
Brutes overrun us. Trust the timer.
Kincaid sighted. Fired. Dropped another raider.
I count beats. You call it. Prejudice screamed no. Humans fragile per doctrine. But sprint. Lure. All impossible. Raxon closed to 100 odds. Sally's squad poured fire. Casualties mounted. A Vathari crumpled beside her. 5 seconds, Kincaid said. Calm. Blood soaked her arm. Ignored. Saley gripped Vox. Heart hammered. Isho yelled retreat. She overrode. Artie, danger close. Grid echo, 5, now. Shells whistled inbound. Brutes loomed 20 meters.
Maul swung! Go! Kincaid shoved Saley down slope.
They tumbled into defilade. Shells struck. Ridge erupted. Fireball swallowed brutes. Queen's banner. Shockwave flattened raiders. Saley coughed dust. Ears rang. Kincaid hauled her up. Unscathed bar scratches.
How?
Siley gasped. Beat count. 10 seconds exact. Kincaid grinned faint. Duty. Isho voxed awe. Liaison, report. Hold firm, Saley replied. Chest thumped hard. Respect burned. Human endured. She adapted. Frontline reformed. But horizon glowed anew. Queen's remnants rallied. Worse coming. Kincaid shouldered rifle. Round 2? Sally nodded. Together. Explosions echoed distant. Scouts voxed, overlord massing heavies. Frontline tensed. Siley watched the human. Limp returned. Masked before. Stubborn flesh. Myth true. Raxon charged again. Repeater spun up. Saley fired on rhythm. No doubt now. Brutes hit the slope. Kincaid baited flawless. Squads funneled. But this wave bulked larger. Dozen hulks, raider screens tripled. Ammo low. Krell gunner growled. Kincaid eyed the sled. Empty.
I sprint again. Saley's gut twisted.
Open ground hotter now. Enemy spotters locked. Negative. 2 exposed. Kincaid plotted path. Zig through debris. Use craters. She bolted. Siley covered furious. Bolts chased. One grazed leg. Human powered on. Dragged sled back. Drum locked. Gun roared. Siley redirected. Lanes shift. Offset 2 beats. Squads flowed. Fire net tightened. Brutes piled into corridor. Kincaid withdrew, drawing prime target. Mines claimed 3. Queen exposed herself. Massive. Plasma crowned.
Directed hostage rush? Artie timer? Saley asked.
Kincaid shook head. Melee now. Flank her. Impossible. But Saeli signaled Isho. Commit reserves. Human led. Fragile. Do it. Voice steal. Reserve surged. Kincaid flanked low. Rifle barking. Sally matched high. Queen blasted plasma. Missed human by inches. She rolled, fired back. Armor sparked. Aliens pressed. Queen roared retreat. Coalition closed. The front line buckled elsewhere.
Vox screamed. Center collapsing! Racks and heavies breach!
Horror. Enemy walkers stomped through. Lasers carving squads.
Isho's company splintered. Regroup there, Saley voxed.
Kincaid sprinted. Again toward breach. Heavy needs feed.
Cover. Open ground hell now.
Laser swept. She dodged, weaved, sled bouncing. Grabbed fallen drum mid-stride. Locked it solo under fire.
Saley marveled.
Called lanes. Rhythm. Beat. Firing synced. Walkers halted.
Brutes lured anew. Corridor filled.
Collapse damned. But Queen rallied core guard. Plasma arced. Kincaid dropped prone. Artie. My grid. 8 seconds. Saley's talon hovered Vox.
Her position.
Squad entangled. Trust, Kincaid urged. Eyes locked. Saeli called. Danger close. Echo 5. Shells inbound. They fought through seconds. Queen lunged. Kincaid parried maul with rifle stock. Snapped it. Drew knife. Slashed tendon. Explosions hit. Queen vaporized. Guard. Shredded. Dust cleared. Coalition stood. Front line held. Issue arrived. Saluted Kincaid. Sergeant. Field promo. Humans clapped. Aliens thumped chests. Siley gripped human shoulder. Myth killer. Kincaid wiped blade. Just soldier. Scouts voxed. Remnants scouts voxed remnants scattering into the foothills. Saeli keyed her comm. Command, this is Vorn. Breach sealed. Rax and Queen down. Frontline holds.
Static crackled.
Casualties? Isho's company intact. Human reserves, pivotal. She glanced at Kincaid. The human reloaded her sidearm. Face smeared with dust and ichor. No limp, no wince. Just methodic clicks. Captain Isho strode up, flanked by his lieutenants. Vorn. Solid work. Kincaid. Sergeant now. Coalition owes her. Kincaid shouldered her broken rifle stock. Captain. Debrief tent rose fast from deploy pods. Saley filed her report on the field slate. Talons tapping. Words burned true. Coppolet. No Sergeant Kincaid fed heavy cannon under direct fire. Solo drum swap, called Danger Close Artie on Queen. Pivot of defense. Isho nodded at the screen. Transmit. Brass needs this. He turned to Kincaid. Metal inbound. Star of the line. Humans rack them up. Kincaid's eyes narrowed. Calm voice cut sharp. No metals, sir. Send trench liners. Real ones. Not this foam rubber crap that melts under plasma splash.
And med kits. Coagulant packs that work on all blood chem.
Not just yours. Isho blinked.
His frill's flattened. Sergeant, nettles don't stop bleed out.
She wiped her knife clean on her thigh plate. Liners do.
Kits save squads.
Sally watched.
Human stared down a captain. No salute slip. No deference twitch. Isho exhaled. Noted. Requisition filed.
Vorn. Back her. I.
Siley's voice held steady. Heat crept under her scales. Earlier mockery echoed in her skull. Human myths. Fairy tales for soft skins. She'd laughed at mess hall tales. Kincaid's squad as glass cannons. Now, glass shattered mountains. Tent flap rustled.
Medtechs hauled in wounded. A Raxan brute dragged a coalition drone operator. Leg pulped.
Kincaid knelt without pause. Tourniquet from her belt. Tightened it one-handed. Drone op, gasped relief. Sergeant, that endurance. How? Kincaid tied off the knot. Training. Stubbornness. She stood. You mocked it yesterday.
Humans break first. Saw different today.
Siley's crest drooped. Talons clenched. I spoke from doctrine. Coalition Sims rate you fragile. Low mass, no natural armor. Myths inflate it. Soft sound, no anger. We endure. You adapt fast. Plasma volleys? Your edge. She met Siley's gaze. But yeah, I laughed too. First time aliens called us paper soldiers. Heat surged in Siley's vents. Shame, respect, both coiled. Teach us.
Protocols. That sled drag under fire.
Knife work on Queen Tendon. Kincaid paused, scanned the tent. Isha watched silent. Medtechs prepped evac. Your call, Lieutenant. Coalition cohesion.
Siley's resolve hardened. My platoons die next breach without it.
Yours too. Done. Kincaid nodded once. Dawn.
Trenches. Bring sleds.
Full loads. Isho grunted approval.
Integrated drills. Good.
Vox chimed. Radar tech burst in. Contacts. Raxon wave inbound. Heavies leading. ETA 20. Tent emptied to stations. Saley sprinted for her platoon line. Kincaid matched stride. Change plans. Drill now. Live fire. Saley's heart thumped. Under assault? Best teacher. Kincaid vaulted a revetment. Grabbed a coalition trooper's arm. Sled stance. Low center. Like this. Trooper mimicked. Awkward. Human adjusted hips. Feel it? Weight forward. Siley barked orders. Platoon. Form on human. Rhythm drills. Radar pinged closer. Distant thunder rolled. Raxon engines. Kincaid paced the line. Breathe steady. Fire on beat. 1, 2. Reload 3. No pauses. Aliens fumbled first volleys. Sloppy. Kincaid demonstrated. Rifle patched from Isho's armory. Barked precise. See? Muscle memory. Ignorance fear. Siley tried. Grip felt wrong. Human hands smaller, triggers lighter. But rhythm clicked. Her shots grouped. Again. Kincaid called. Enemy closes. Scouts yelled visuals.
Raxon heavies crested horizon. Walkers taller than last.
Flankers swarmed. Isho voxed. Hold trench. Vorn. Kincaid. Sink fire. Sali dropped into position. Beside her, a young rifleman aped Kincaid's stance. Sled ready. Lieutenant. Like she said. Plasma lanced first. Scorched earth 10 meters out. Coalition guns answered. Ragged. Kincaid's voice cut through. Rhythm. Beat. Platoon locked in. Sali's world narrowed. Sights. Trigger.
1, 2. Reload 3.
Walkers lumbered closer. Lasers swept. 1. Clipped a trooper's pauldron. He dropped. Rolled. Fired prone.
Human resilience?
No. Protocol. Shared now.
Drill's working.
Hold confirmed. Reserves flank. Raxon brutes charged. Shock troops. Hostage grabs their game. One scooped a fallen drone. Shielded itself. Kincaid didn't hesitate. Flank shot. Tendon low. Siley aimed. Fired.
Hit. Brute staggered.
Trooper freed. Plasma from Walker answered. Siley's cover liner vaporized. Foam rubber crap. She rolled exposed.
Dirt bit scales. Kincaid dragged her back.
Sled style. Low pull. Up. Rhythm. Saley surged. Fired. Walker leg buckled. More brutes poured. Vox screamed. Flanks buckling again. Isho called. Vorn. Pivot left. She glanced.
Gap widening.
Her platoon thinned. Sergeant, cover me. Kincaid nodded. Laid suppressing fire. Sali sprinted dap.
Grabbed fallen heavy cannon. Drum empty.
No time. Echoed today's madness. She hefted it solo. Locked on. Human sled nearby. Feed it.
Raxon Queen analog lumbered behind brutes.
Spiked. Artigrid, Sali yelled. Kincaid's eyes locked. Trust.
Danger close. Fire. 4. Shells whistled.
Seconds ticked. Brutes closed. Siley fired cannon. Ripped legs. Kincaid flanked. Knife out. Back up for rifle jam. Explosions bloomed. Queen shredded. Brutes scattered. Dust settled. Radar cleared.
Wave broken. Siley panted.
Kincaid checked her squad. Calm inventory. Liners next time. Isho arrived. Vorn. Kincaid. Flawless. He thumped chests with aliens. Clapped human shoulders. Sully's vox buzzed. Command, report. Next wave patterns? She keyed.
Human protocols integrated.
Pivotal again. Troopers cheered, mixed voices. Human clapped alien backs. Respect flowed. But scouts voxed anew. Remnants rallying. Air assets inbound.
Round 2 drills. Siley's crest rose. Full platoon.
Now. Radar pinged. Faster this time.